Welcome back, everybody. It's Joe from TRPG Games. We're going to talk a little bit about Modern. Modern Horizons, in fact. Cards that may be reprinted from Legacy. What kind of impact is this going to have on Modern? Let's talk about it. So, Modern Horizons. Wizards of the Coast is a for-profit company that needs to monetize their products. Modern has been pretty good for them with the Modern Masters sets since 2013. We had a couple of semi-duds, although I think those are going to increase in price, folks. By the way, as a side note, if you can get into Iconic or Masters 25 for under $150, you should do so now while you still can, although that window may have already closed on you. But talking about Modern Horizons is going to change Modern as we know it. First of all, a few things going in. Don't worry about any bannings between now and July. Until Horizons comes out, faithless looting, nothing is going to get banned. Nothing is going to get banned. The format is going to stay pretty much unchanged, unless something with War of the Spark throws a few variables in there. That's very, very possible. But other than that, the format's going to stay unchanged until June, when we get our Modern Horizons set release. Now, I strongly believe that Wizards of the Coast is going to try to really fully monetize Modern to equal or be greater than what the money that they draw in from Standard. And how they're going to do that is make it a semi-rotating format. In other words, by releasing a Modern set that has new cards in it and or legacy reprints, not reserve lists, of course. So, no, we're not going to get any time walks or anything like that, folks. No Power 9 cards, sorry. However, they are going to make this a semi-rotating format. So decks that are kicking butt right now, whether it's Delver or is it Phoenix or any of the top 8 stuff you see now, I highly doubt that they're going to have half as much relevance as they have today. Because the card, who knows what we're going to see card-wise, but we're going to see stuff that is going to totally shake up the format. It'll probably be 4 to 6 cards, other than lands, which I'll talk about in a minute. It'll probably be 4 to 6 cards that are impactful. I would also say now on lands, out of the 50 that is, out of the 50 new cards, 4 to 6 that are impactful. And we'll talk about some possible legacy stuff, I suppose, but we are going to get new cards for lands. I really, really believe that Wizards doesn't like reshuffling decks or likes to keep that to a minimum because it slows games down. It doesn't look good on camera. It just does. This is why fetch lands have not been reprinted, why they will not be reprinted, I don't believe, ever. And while I don't think they're going to be banned, I strongly believe that what we're going to see in this set, Modern Horizons, is going to be some sort of semi-equivalent replacement for fetch. To the point where you can play these new lands, whatever they may be, these non-deck shuffling lands, to some equivalent where they're going to be on par with a shock land, or again, on par with a fetch land, so you don't really need to run fetch anymore. It's even possible these are somewhat better than fetch, to the point where you don't want to run fetch. I know that's a stretch. I'm using my imagination here, but I think that that's what their goal is. You're not going to see fetch reprints. Does that mean you should invest in fetches? I don't know. Because if they get marginalized by this set somehow, or become kind of tier 2 lands, I don't know. I really don't know. I would stay away from them. I'd have play sets for yourself, and that would be it. I would not heavily invest in fetch at this point in time. So, with that said, I think Modern Horizons' goal is to make Modern into a semi-rotating format, where whether you like it or not, your decks are going to become not Tier 1 anymore. Tier 1 decks today, many of them are going to not be Tier 1. I think that some cards, there'll still be a lot of things that play. Blood Moon will still be in sideboards, stuff like that. Surgical Extraction is going to be around for a while. There's going to still be a lot of the stuff that we're used to seeing today, but overall, I think we are going to. I think we're going to see a big change in Modern. So stay tuned. I think they're going to also try to drive the price down on stuff because, again, they don't necessarily benefit by, overpriced Lilianas or Tarmogoyfs. There's no real value added in that other than the Modern sets, which, they'll reprint them. We've seen them reprint them. They'll reprint the heck out of them to monetize them, which who can blame them? That's what they're in business for. And I think that over the long haul, from a play standpoint, not necessarily an evil investor standpoint, but from a play standpoint, I really, really believe that this is the best thing for Modern going forward. Hopefully, they do some stuff with Pauper coming up soon, too. That's one of my other favorite formats. So we shall see. It's hard for me to really guess what's going to be coming from Legacy. When spoilers are released, we'll talk about that. There's been a lot of speculation on cards. I'll let other YouTubers go there and speculate. Who knows? They have a plethora of choices of things that are banned in Modern right now that are Legacy legal, that are reprintable, that are not reserve list. So it's really hard to take a stab at that. The new cards are the things that are going to shake it up. So if you're looking at 50 to 60 new cards, 5 to 6 of them being meaningful, say 10% of the new cards are truly meaningful and are going to see play in multiple decks, it's going to shake up the format. We don't see it that often. Standard Allegiance, what did we get out of that? Light up the stage. And of course, with guilds, we got the Recursing Phoenix, aka Arclight Phoenix. Those things are meaningful and impactful, obviously, to Modern, but really outside of those two cards, not too much in the last couple of sets. So, and that's Standard, par for the course stuff for Standard. That's no more. This Modern thing, Modern Horizons, and the continuance of it, if it's at all a success, even a moderate success, we're going to see it repeated at least once a year, I think, going forward. And they're going to be shaking up the format and, again, make it kind of sort of semi-rotational to the point where you can't just ignore this set if you're playing Modern. It's going to be impactful, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be great to shake up the format. I really hope that it does drive down the price of Modern a little bit to get more players in the game. Get it, many deck choices under $500 instead of one or two deck choices that are top 8. Let's get most of them or all of them under $500. I think that'd be fantastic. Anyway, folks, stay tuned. We're going to have more, and we will catch you on the flip side.